ya. Cameroon, Guinea-Bissau, Sierra Leone, gotta let me show ya. Nigeria, Bioko Island, Liberia, I wanna know ya. Cameroon, Guinea-Bissau, Sierra Leone, gotta let me show ya. Nigeria, Bioko Island, Liberia, I wanna know ya.
Let it all hang out. DNA brings the ancestors out. I think those are the words. What's up, y'all? I'm Gina Paige. I'm the head of something at African Ancestry. I'm the chief bottle washer at AfricanAncestry.com. Habari Ghani, happy Kwanzaa. Welcome to our African Ancestry Live. I am excited about our show tonight because it's not just me and Wendy tonight. We got a whole crew. And look, you guys are here in full effect. Fancy, Menelik, hey, Plachette, good to see you. Dominic, I'm glad you're here. Daniel Lewis is in the house. Samuel, your name seems new. There's my R Cafe Cubano Keys. I am Vault Avanti. Look, I'm so happy to see y'all. Gigi, Jacqueline. What? Look at this. Monique's here. Sodom Purty 1 is here. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Come on in. We're celebrating Kwanzaa tonight, everybody. Yeah, that's what we're doing. Lisa. Hey, Mary. Jomo is here. Norma, shout out to Miss Norma. She traveled to Sierra Leone with us in November. LaShandra, a blast from the past. Shout out to LaShandra. They're turning up in your country this month, LaShandra. Hey, Carolyn and Kim. Woo, Glenda. Ella, y'all coming on in. Whoa, this is going to be so much fun. Everybody, I'm so glad to see you. Shout out to Hazel Cherry. She is the newest member of our team. She's our full-time social media manager. So you guys need to be on the lookout. We're going to be doing some exciting things. That's what Hazel says. She's already put us to work after her first week here at African Ancestry. So welcome, Hazel. We're very happy to have you. And Hazel, this is our family. This is our family here in the comments. They are in here strong with us every week. So I got some housekeeping. You know how we do. It's the holidays. So there's gift giving that goes on during the holidays. There's gift giving that goes on during Kwanzaa, but we give a gift every Wednesday. So this week, the first new person to shout us out in the comments is going to win or has won an identity box. The identity box is one of my favorite things that we've done. It's full of tools that you can use to explore who you are, remember who you are, celebrate our history, celebrate Africa, all of that. We've got artwork from fine artists. We've got recipes from top chefs across the diaspora, from the Dominican Republic, from Haiti, from Tennessee, from DC, you name it. We've got some really good recipes that you guys could try on the last day of Kwanzaa. You guys know what the last day of Kwanzaa is? Put in the chat if you know what the last day of Kwanzaa is. You can make some of these recipes for your karamu on the last day of Kwanzaa. Shout out to Dominic. Dominic, you're gonna be you are the winner of the identity box. There's an African Ancestry notebook in there, an identity notebook. We've got stickers, we've got lapel pins, we got magnets, we got the Black History flashcards from Urban Intellectuals. It's chock full of, and you know what else is in there? The African Ancestry Remember Who You Are Study Guide, Volume 1. That's in there, and that's the piece de resistance. So if you didn't win, you can go on over to AfricanAncestry.com right now and get your identity box. Congratulations, Dominic. What else we got going on? The AAOC. So I want to remind all of you who are African Ancestry family members, if you've taken an African Ancestry test, then you are an African Ancestry family member. And the African Ancestry online community is designed just for you. So on Facebook, we have a private group that's just for people who've taken the test. And it's very easy to join, but you have to register because this is exclusive. So you can't just be like, oh, I want to be down with the AAOC. Nope. Membership has its privileges. In order to register, you have to provide the name of the test taker and your kit ID number. That's the 7-digit barcode that's associated with your test kit. And then there are questions that you have to answer. So if you don't fill out that information, Ty, who is our community manager, she's not letting you in. And don't send us emails and texts mad because we didn't let you in. You'll get in if you answer all the questions. So please pay attention to the questions. Um, don't send us anything about customer service in the AAOC. You can send those directly to info@africanancestry.com. They will get answered quickly because Simone, who you'll meet in a few moments, is on top of that. So that's the AAOC. And then then there's me. So we are growing our African Ancestry Live content, and we want your help. So if you could please subscribe. If you're on YouTube, click the subscribe button. If you're on Facebook, please share with your friends and get them engaged in the content, because you have to admit this is some good stuff that we talk about every week. Then we also have a playlist of our past episodes over on YouTube, on our YouTube channel. And so you can always see one that you missed, or if there was one that you really enjoyed that you want to see again, you can go on over to YouTube and check it out. Imani, yes. Okay, here we go. I was asking what the last day of Kwanzaa was, and you guys got it. Ali said Imani. Jomo. Oh no, not Jomo. Gigi said Imani. Our Cafe Cubano Keys said Imani. Okay, Plachette. I was just telling Wendy, I can't remember who the winner was. So we'll get your gift out to you. Shout out to Sylvia. She said Imani. You guys know what time it is. All right. So I think, Wendy, is there anything else that I'm supposed to talk about that I missed? I think this is it. So I told you guys that I'm not alone today. Well, I'm never alone. Wendy's always here. But Wendy and I are not alone. We brought the team with us. We brought our crew with us today. So I'm going to introduce the crew from the OGs down to the new Gs. So the very first crew member, you guys know her. You've seen her on here many times before. Simone Jones, who is our head of operations and also the co-head of technology. Look at you, Simone, looking all pretty for the people. Welcome. Thank you for being here. Oh, wait, we can't hear you, Simone. Are you on mute?
I'm on mute.
There you go.
Sorry. I'm happy to be here. Thank you.
Yes. So then let's see if I look at I think the next one is going to be Wendi. You guys know Wendi. Wendi, shout out to you, Wendi, who is our AA Live producer. Welcome to the big screen, Wendi, tonight. And then I think it must be Rolando, who is our head of marketing and co-heads technology. You've seen Rolando before. So are you guys welcoming my people in here? Yes. Okay, you are. I'm looking for some emojis. I got to check to make sure the emojis are straight. All right. So now we're getting into the new folks, the new news. They joined at the same time. So I'm going to do ladies first. So our next new G is Jasmine Musgrave, and Jasmine has joined us as a marketing manager. Hey, Jasmine.
Hi.
I was about to say, I know you have a voice. Okay. And there's one of a little Jasmine. Hey, little Jasmine. Who's that?
Yes,
in the picture.
There are little Jasmines running around.
Well, welcome, Jasmine.
Thank you.
Then bringing up the end of the new Gs is our newest male addition to the African Ancestry family, Shawn Gandy, who is the premier customer experience manager. Welcome, Shawn.
Thank you, Dr. Gina. Peace, everybody.
You guys may have, you guys may see Deshawn, know him from social media and the AAOC, but even his own social media platforms. He's a very active genealogist and family historian. Yes, Jersey is in the building. Shout out to Cheryl Wade, who's checking in. All right, y'all. So today we're in the middle of Kwanzaa, and as most people who watch African Ancestry Live know, Kwanzaa is a holiday that is for us, by us, celebrated the last 7 days or the last 6 days of the year, and then on January 1st. And we're celebrating the principles of Nguzo Saba. So there's 7 Kwanzaa principles that we live by all year here at African Ancestry, and that we've been celebrating every day. I'm gonna do. Let's see. What's your favorite principle? Your favorite Kwanzaa principle, Wendi?
Sorry, my favorite is Nia. It's purpose.
Okay, and why is that?
Because I'm always trying to figure out my purpose and retooling my purpose, and so I believe that's why I'm here. So I want to be the best at whatever my purpose is.
Very nice. And have you always? How long have you been celebrating Kwanzaa?
Celebrating. The first time I ever heard about Kwanzaa was when I was 7 from the magazine Ebony Jr. Ebony Jr. did a feature about Kwanzaa, and that was it. So from then on, so
let me see a fist in the comments if you remember Ebony Jr. Let's see how many old heads we have in the we have on here tonight. I need to see a power fist if you remember Ebony Jr. So what's your favorite Kwanzaa principle, Rolando?
I believe the very first one, Umoja, which is for unity. I've been celebrating Kwanzaa since I was 7 years old. A gentleman by the name of Baruti Harit Tucker brought me to a community celebration. And at 7, I was like, this is incredible. And just kept it in the family ever since. And so, yeah, unity, Umoja.
Nice, nice. How about you, Deshawn? What's your favorite Kwanzaa principle?
I would have to say the first and Nia, the first one, and Nia, just really got involved with it in college. As part of a program called Black Nia Force with Raz Baraka, who is now the mayor of Newark. So I just learned a lot about it and was just purpose driven. And I just believe in being purpose driven in my life. So that's very stands out for me. Yep.
Nice. Shout out to Camille. Camille says she recently got 2 continent pendants, and they're from Cameroon. So welcome to the family, Camille. I wanted to also jump in here. Daphne says some Black folks say DNA tests don't prove where we're from. Can you all speak to this? I can speak to this. Is there somebody on the team who wants to speak to this? Or shall I represent for the team? Well, those Black folks are wrong. They don't know what they're talking about, Daphne. African Ancestry's matriclan and patriclan tests can absolutely connect you to the present day African country and ethnic group that you share ancestry with. Other companies can't do that. So those people, maybe they're talking about the other company's DNA test. They can't do it because they're not focused on Africa. They're not here for Black people. They're not here to help us reclaim our identities. They're not here to fill the void, quite honestly, that their ancestors created in our perception of self. So no, their test can't do it, but our test can. And part of the reason our test can is because we have the largest database of African lineages in the world. Part of the reason our test can is because our tests are conducted, our analyses are done by Black geneticists who are experts in African and African American lineages. So the answer to that question, you asked me to speak to it. That's what I spoke to it. Okay, all right, keep it moving. Jasmine and the Little Jasmines. That could be a group. Jasmine and the Little Jasmines. What's your favorite Kwanzaa principle?
I don't know that I have a favorite, but since I have to decide, I think I might say Kudu Chagalia. self-determination, because I really believe, in that principle that we create for ourselves and define who we are. And especially, in a country where the history of a people have been oppressed in this way, we can define our own futures, be in control of our own destiny, and not let other people define that for us. So that would probably be my pick.
Okay. Good pick. Good pick. The pressure's on, Simone Jones. Bring it home. What's your favorite Kwanzaa principle?
Well, I have two. The first is Ujamaa, collective working responsibility, which is something that I've always really found important and love the idea of collaboration and uplifting the community. But my second favorite, which probably should be my first, is Kujichagulia, which Jasmine just mentioned, but for a different reason, in that my second son was born on that day. And so we always do something special around his birthday and introducing Kwanzaa. And I've been celebrating Kwanzaa since I was about 21, and it was a direct effect of going to a Black college. So I had African American art history teacher who made it important for all the students to participate. So I've been celebrating ever since then.
Shout out to Tuskegee for getting you to celebrate Kwanzaa. You guys took my favorite one, Kujichagulia. I love that one, but I won't beat that into the ground. So I'm so excited that you guys are all here and that Hazel's in the chat, because we tell people that we have an all Black team, and they don't always get to see everybody. So I want you all to take note of who you see on the screen. This is just a sampling of the people that make African ancestry happen. If it wasn't for the people on the screen, you wouldn't have gotten your results. Them and others, you wouldn't have gotten your results. So we take this work very seriously. And so thank you guys all for being on here with me tonight as we celebrate our Ujamaa list. I was laughing with Simone earlier in the week because the Ujamaa list used to not be a choice. There were about 4 of us in the office, and it was like, okay, we even forced Kelly, who didn't want to be on camera. We forced Kelly to come on camera. Simone, I put a note to you in the private chat, and so it has evolved to this great produced event where we've got, Wendi at the helm of making sure everything is looking good and aligned. We have a web page now. You can go to the web page and see the entire list of Black businesses that we're recommending people support this year. So that's what the Ujamaa list is. I got ahead of myself. You guys know I get excited and don't follow the script, but the Ujamaa list is our picks for some of our favorite Black-owned businesses. One of the core values of African ancestry is to support Black business. And so this is just one way that we can do it. So I want you guys to have your pen and paper out, or have your notes app open on your phone, whatever it is you use to take notes, and write down these businesses, or just click on the links when Wendi puts them in the chat, and so show them some support. A lot of these businesses are very small businesses. Some of them are startups, and so they need us. They can benefit from us showing them some love this week and all year round. So I think this time I want to start with the newest members of the team. So we'll just go back in reverse order. So we'll start with you, Deshawn, and let's talk about what your Ujamaa list pick is. I know Wendy's going to show the slide of your Ujamaa pick.
Okay, so I chose Olade's Kitchen. It is a Nigerian restaurant in Parlin, New Jersey. Shout out to New Jersey. And so when I was on my journey of discovering my African ancestry, one of the places that I went to was Olade's Kitchen. It came highly recommended. A friend of mine who's Nigerian, his family had already given me and my wife's a Nigerian name, and so I just wanted to explore the food, because the foodways of our ancestors is a great way to connect to our past, to our heritage. And so I went there and I had an awesome and amazing time. The chef came out and she, as each dish was brought out to me, she told me its connection to the people and to the culture and to the heritage. And she explained to me why they ate what they ate. And even I learned something beautiful, is that for every meal that a Nigerian has, there's always a Nigerian dish on the table, so they will never forget where they come from. That's for those who live here in this country, so they'll never forget their heritage. And so that really began.
Wait. So does that mean, like, if they're having spaghetti, they'll also have a Nigerian dish?
That's what she told me. Yes, for
Okay.
every meal they have, there is a Nigerian dish there, so they'll never forget their heritage. And that pretty much just started me on my journey. From there, like the next morning, I woke up, I went to a Nigerian store and did some grocery shopping, and I was just started exploring and cooking, because I consider myself a chef. I mean,
oh, okay, found out something new.
I'm not,
you.
but I consider myself a chef. I go in the kitchen and I try to work it out. And so it's just connecting and exploring and experimenting, and it was just such a pleasure. So what I did is, for my 50th birthday, which was November past, 22nd of November, I brought some of my family members to theirs, about 25 of us, and we went to Olade's Kitchen, and we had an amazing time connecting to our African heritage, our Nigerian heritage. And so shout out to Olade's Kitchen, Chef Olade and her family and her staff and team. Wonderful job, wonderful people. And they use food as a way to educate African Americans and the diaspora to the connection back to the continent. I think you're on mute, Dr. Gina.
Which city in Jersey did you say it's in?
Parlin, New Jersey. That's it's by East Brunswick, or by New Brunswick, where Rutgers University is.
Okay, so everybody who's in the Rutgers, New Jersey, the area around Rutgers, New Jersey, make sure you go to Olade's Kitchen. Thank you, Jashawn, for sharing.
You're quite welcome.
With us. Cool. All right, so now that means we're going to Jasmine next. See what Jasmine and the little Jasmines, which business you've chosen for the Ujamaa list.
Hey. So I chose, am I echoing? Okay.
Yeah, we can hear you.
So I chose Bailiwick Clothing Company, this little gem of Black-owned business based here in DC, which I came to know a few years ago, and I really got into it over the pandemic. So the name itself is kind of unique. I guess Bailey and Wick, bailiff and Wick, these two like old English words combined form bailiwick, which basically means jurisdiction over something. So whatever you're really good at is your bailiwick. So these two Black brothers from the Cleveland area by way of Boston moved to DC, and they wanted to create a clothing company that embraces the culture and the purpose for the DC residents. As you know, it's very touristy here, so you can get a lot of DC shirts, but they don't have the real culture of DC, which is historically Black. So they've created these shirts, and I have one of them, and I think this is more like a lifestyle thing for me, because I often express myself by the clothing that I'm wearing. Mm-hmm. And this is my Chocolate City, which is a bailiwick shirt.
Oh, okay. I've seen those. I didn't know that was who made them.
Yes. So for those who don't know, Chocolate City is just a term or nickname that DC coined because of the fact that it's historically Black. And there is a lot of Black culture and rooted here. Black businesses, like historic Black church, historic Black banks, Industrial Bank, Obviously, the home of Howard University and the home of Go-Go, the godfather of Go-Go.
That's right. That's right. Thank you, Jasmine. Teach the people. Teach the people.
Yes. And most people don't know DC was the first territory to be emancipated even before Abraham Lincoln signed the Emancipation Proclamation. So a place where free Blacks thrived and started making Black businesses. The other Black Broadway, which would be U Street. So these shirts kind of embrace what the culture is in DC. So during the pandemic, we're masked up. We're not talking a lot, but a shirt can say 1,000 words, even though it says 2. So, and they also, I just have some other little products, the 202 shirts, which are very popular here for some locals because 202, our area code will, I guess, end and we'll adopt a new one. So all the Black folks who grew up here want to get their 202 on. And we have our Madam Vice President shirts that Vice President Kamala Harris wore after the presidential election. So there's just a lot of community that goes on with Bailiwick, and they show up at every community festival around the different neighborhoods in Adams Morgan and Petworth and Anacostia. So they give back a lot to the community too. So
nice. So I'm learning so much about our team. I'm learning that Shawn is a chef. I'm learning that Jasmine is a DC historian. This is great. Thank you, Jasmine. So you guys, please check out bailiwickclothing.com. You can represent for DC and for Jasmine and the little Jasmines. Okay. So now I think we have Wendi, right? Wendi.
Yeah.
Worldwide Wendi.
Okay, so my pick is an artist named a DC native named Akeel Ali, and he brings affordable, simple, memorable fashion. Now, I picked Akeel. He's a friend, but I feel like it's the first time I've ever seen a modern Renaissance man. This person knows how to do everything. He's a botanist. He is he knows how to sew. He knows how to DJ. He knows how to cook. He rides bikes. He knows how to snowboard. He paints, and he painted me this as a gift, which is Erykah Badu, which is one of my favorite artists. He has a clothing line. So I always believe that when people are working in their gifts, they're their closest to God, going back to sort of like the Nia and the purpose. This human being I have seen be closest to God by using all the gifts that he has. And so I always try to support. So you can just see him at Black Frontiersmen. And he's DC native. He reps hard for DC. And he's been here for his whole life. So he's been in the art scene for many, many years. He does murals all over the city and all types of stuff. His touch is everywhere. And he was the only videographer who was at the burial grounds in New York. He was commissioned by I forget which channel it was, but he's the only videographer who was there when they reinterred the bones from the park in New York, and he has the footage. So he's that good.
Wow. So that's an interesting connection to African ancestry, because you guys may or may not know that Dr. Kittles, our co-founder and scientific director, he was part of the team from Howard University that went to the New York African burial ground when the bones were discovered. Wow. And his job was to identify the ancestry of the bones. And that was the catalyst for the launching of AfricanAncestry.com. So we're connected. We're connected to Akeel too.
Wow.
That's good to know. Wow. Well, thank you for sharing Akeel and the Black Frontiersmen. It sounds like when you go to his site, you're going to see a lot of things, not just one specific thing, and that is exciting.
Yes.
Thank you.
Support you guys. Support. Thank you, Gina.
Yep. Okay, so now. Oh, no, wait, it should have been Rolando. I messed up the order. My bad, Wendi. Okay, so now we'll go to Rolando. I switched the position of the G's. Rolando,
Que vola, said it.
what's up? What's up? What's up?
That's like what we say in Cuba. It's like, what's up, my friend, basically.
So who'd you pick? Tell us about Tres Lindas.
Yeah, thank you so much. You said it so well too, Gina. Tres Lindas is a cigar company founded by two Afro-Cubanas. For what I understand, they still remain the only female-owned Afro-Cuban cigar company, and that's incredible to me. They're based out of Miami, and I discovered them from another African ancestry family member named Chantrell P. Lewis, who has a resource called Shop Black, and they publish a resource with Black-owned businesses. And so I was looking for some things this year, and I saw this, and I was like, this is great, because the process, one, of getting Cuban cigars, even as a Cuban, is very difficult here in the United States. And these sisters, what they did is they took Cuban seed blends and grow cigars in Nicaragua, and then, provide it to us here. So it's just a really, really wonderful company. I have some cigars here. They come to you packaged really well, and you can also get these custom labels. And so this one says Baba Rolando, and cigars have many, many different roles in our culture, but in particular, we use them as a way to honor our ancestors. And so we use them in many cleansing rituals. We use them in many Bowie Day and, altar rituals. And me, once a week, I just spend some time with them and think about how fortunate I am, that my ancestors had given me so much. And this is a really easy way for me to connect to that legacy.
Nice. So for those who are cigar smokers or who know and love cigar smokers, this sounds like the perfect gift, especially since you can get the label customized. Is that correct? They didn't just do that for you. They do it for...
Absolutely. They do it for anyone. You go on the website. They have a couple of cigar blends that are really good. And you can just go and type in what you want and they ship it to you.
And so I don't know anything about Cubans. I don't know anything about cigars, period, Rolando. But I do know that people want and cherish Cuban cigars. And so because how do these compare to cigars that you would actually purchase in Cuba?
Yeah, I mean, they do a really, really good job. And so a big part of the history of cigars in Cuba have to do with the land itself. It has to do with the skills of the people who cultivated tobacco and, the processing, of that in Cuba. And so I think about it very much as like a combination of the people's skills with the seeds themselves that have grown from the land. And so these are seeds from Cuba. And so very similar to how I am here in the US, a descendant, I was able to trace my maternal lineage to the Pele people in the part of the world we now know as Liberia. So just like that, it's still in me. I feel very similar about these cigars. They're super high quality. You should just try them out. And anyone who gives them a try will realize that. But I do think there's also something special about the fact that although they're grown someplace else, they are still being handled by Afro-Cuban women, sent to us by Afro-Cuban women, and still have those Afro-Cuban seeds.
Thank you for sharing this one, Rolando. I have a cigar smoker. A couple of cigar smokers come to mind, so I think that I'm going to go over to Tres Lindas Cubanas Cigars.com and get them some gifts. So thank you so much for sharing that. And I hope everybody, I hope you guys are keeping track of these businesses. We do have the full list, so we're not going to cover every business live, but we do have the full list over on AfricanAncestry.com, and the link is there in the comments. So if you don't write everything down, or even if you do, make sure you check out the other companies as well. All right. The OG herself, Simone Jones, you're up. Simone, you always bring somebody just spectacular. So Who you got?
So I have Diop. I don't know if I'm saying that right for the Senegalese people out there. Diop. It's a lifestyle brand, apparel brand that's based in Detroit. It was founded by a first generation Nigerian American brother who he tells his story about growing up in New York, his mom going back to the continent, and everything she had to go through to get in car print fabric and all the things that she would want because she couldn't find the things that she wanted to wear here. And so he's taken that and moved it to like the next level because he's, like I said, in Detroit. And one of the things I really like about this particular brand is that it's not only funky, but it's functional. Day to day, I wear t-shirts and like the most basic things, but there was a time in my life where I would wear prints on prints on prints on prints and just express myself through color and design and all of that. And so this brand has given me a really practical way to be able to express that. So my pick was the Amar scarf, which I think you have the same.
I know. I was like, dang, I have that scarf.
I feel like someone else on the team has one too in a different color, but this is the scarf. It has this great print. And as you can see my background, like I love this look.
That's you.
Yeah, but this it's not the only thing. Like another thing I love about them is because they're in Detroit, they make products that are functional for where they live. And as we know, the Midwest gets hit with some pretty intense weather. So they make winter gaiters with prints. So, you put this on and you pull it up over your face and you have extra protection during the winter. But with us being in the time of pandemic life, this is also a funky way to be safe and look good while doing it. And so I have a bunch of stuff here. Like I got a bag. Let's see, I got my busy bag. I got some more scarves, got face masks. I got a whole bunch of stuff.
You're keeping them in business. You guys hurry up and go over there because Simone's buying up all their stuff. So you got to get over there now so that there's something left.
Listen, I am brand loyal. If it's something I like, I go all the way in. I go hard for them. So
listen, and I'm a beneficiary of that with this sweatshirt. You gave me this sweatshirt from For the Johns. Is that what it is?
Yep.
For the Johns,
based in Philly.
Yeah, you definitely are brand loyal. That's the truth.
Yeah. So yeah, their site is We Are Diop, which I love that. And even in the way that they do their marketing, they speak from a community perspective, right? Like it's it's us, we're a collective. And so I think they're super dope. They're super dope.
Well, thank you for sharing that. We have so much in common. You took my favorite day of Kwanzaa. You celebrated the scarf that I have. I love it. This is great. Good spirits. Thank you, Simone, for sharing that. All right, and then I guess I'm bringing up the rear, the bottom of the list. My pick is Flavorful Seasoning Company. Shout out to Lauren. I think she's over in the comments. Based in Chattanooga, Tennessee. Lauren, she's a friend. She created this line of salt-free seasonings. So she has this knack for blending spices that produces so much flavor, you don't even realize that there's no salt. There she is. Shout out to Lauren. You don't realize that there's no salt. She has a whole line. I think she has maybe like 8 different flavors of flavorful seasonings. The 2 I have are Taco Tuesday, which I asked her which one was the most favorite. But when I look at the comments, I feel like Taco Tuesday might be the most favorite flavor. And then I got, it's a true herby, garlicky delight. So I like the fact that she has them in this type of packaging that seems to be environmentally friendly. There's not a whole lot of waste going on. She tells you to use up the spices within 2 years. I don't know how these spices could last 2 years unless you're like me and you don't cook that much. But they're great. And Lauren is just an all-around good person. I know her personally. Shout out to Myron Douglas for introducing me to Lauren. So I want to send you guys over to itsflavorful.com and make sure you pick up either she has a sampler pack you can get with several different flavors in it, or you can just buy them ad hoc, one flavor at a time. She's over at flavorful.com. So we also have a whole list of other companies, other businesses over on, like I said, on AfricanAncestry.com. So you can go to our Ujamaa list page. You can see the link down at the bottom, and you can see all of the other businesses that we are featuring. I'll tell you some of them quickly. We've got businesses like the DC Dentist. Oh, the DC Dentist, who we've had on Instagram Live before here in DC. Ty's pick, Ty wasn't able to join us tonight, but her pick was Bloodline Lipstick. And they have Ancestry Lip Gloss. And that company is run by a member of the AAOC. So, you know, we are promoting family members too, right? So make sure you check out Regal Air LLC, Mahogany Books. That goes without saying. Those are our people over there at Mahogany, as are our friends Anika over at NubianHuman.com. We're shouting out the Black Pepper Papery Company. We've got clothandpaper.com. So many other, the Africa Memory Game. You've seen me talk with Paulette and Puma before. Weddings and Events by Karen. So there's so many other businesses that you can support over at AfricanAncestry.com. But most importantly, you guys are always on here shouting us out, supporting us. There are people who say that I don't know what's going on with my camera. Everything's red now. I'm red. But anyway, that's okay. Okay, there we go. Y'all know what I look like. People come on and say that they want to take the test, but it doesn't fit their budget at the moment. You all are always very supportive, letting them know that they can use a firm, that they can get family members to pitch in. Well, we have a sale going on right now for Ujamaa. It is the lowest price of the year. We're selling African Ancestry test kits for 15% off. That is a huge savings that you don't often see here at African Ancestry. You have not seen it this year. That promotion ends tonight at 11:59 p.m. wherever you live. So please go over to AfricanAncestry.com, get your last minute gift. If you've decided after looking at the Ujamaa list that you just have to support another Black business in addition to the ones on the list, we're a Black business. So you can go over there and get an African Ancestry Match a Clan test or Patch a Clan test for 15% off. I think that's all I got for tonight. Wendy, is there anything else that Factor Whack. I always forget the Factor Whack. All right, so we got some Factor Whacks with us tonight. And Simone, why don't you jump back on and help us with this Factor Whack?
Okay.
So you know how we play this, right? Everybody, Simone's going to read the statement, and then you're going to let them know, Simone's going to read the statement, and then you're going to put in the comments whether you think it's a fact or a whack. All right.
Okay, so this is a good one. Most Black-owned businesses are sole proprietorships, meaning they have no employees. Fact or whack?
Is that a fact or is that whack? You know, shout out to another one of our favorite, since you're on the screen, Simone, another one of my favorite businesses that you introduced me to, Raising Our Roots Homestead down there in Birmingham. Shout out to Stacy and her family. Okay, let's see.
Yeah.
We're getting whack. Okay, pretty much everybody is saying whack. Okay, we got a couple of facts in here. Donshell came through with a fact. Yakota came through with a fact. Okay, Trish, Deborah. So I don't know. We got half and half. Most Black-owned businesses are sole proprietorships, meaning they have no employees. What's the answer, Simone? Is that fact or what?
I don't know. I'm just saying fact. That is a fact. That is a fact.
That's a fact. Yep. So when you look at the census and you look at other reports, they say that the vast majority, I think do we have another slide for this, Wendy? The overwhelming, there we go. There are about over 3 million Black or African American owned non-employer businesses. So the vast majority of Black owned businesses are sole proprietorships, and they generate $72.5 billion in revenue. So these businesses, I don't know about every single one of the businesses that we've mentioned here tonight, but I know it's Flavorful Seasonings Company is a sole proprietorship, and I suspect that some of the others are too. They are the backbone of the Black business economy, and so that's why it's so important that we support them. Sole proprietorships grow into businesses that have employees, and so I want to encourage you guys to support these businesses. Okay, we have one more factor wax, Simone.
All right. So the greatest number of Black-owned businesses is in the food service sector. So factor whack. Most Black businesses are some kind of food service.
Huh. That's going to be interesting. Shout out to Plachette, who says when she purchased her kit, she didn't realize that she would be getting results identifying her bloodline and getting an extended African ancestry family. And we love you, Plachette. You are here every week, like so many of the other people on tonight, every single Wednesday, holding it down from down there in NOLA. Okay, so this is pretty evenly balanced too. We got facts and we got wax. Mondriel's audience says, I'm not sure. Deshaun said, I'm thinking whack. The greatest number of Black-owned businesses is in the food service sector. What's the answer? Is it fact? Is that a fact? That's whack. Okay. See, I kind of would have thought that was a fact, actually. Okay, so go ahead, Simone. You can share this one.
So there were an estimated 134,567 Black or African American owned employer businesses with 133.7 billion in annual receipts, 1.3 million employees, and about 40.5 billion in annual payroll. So about 29.5% of these businesses were in the healthcare and social assistance sector. That's interesting.
Yeah, so we're helping to take care of one another. Our employer businesses, so the ones that employ multiple people, multiple employees, the largest percentage of them are in the healthcare and social assistance sector. So which Kwanzaa principle would that apply to? That would apply to Ujamaa, right?
Ujamaa, yeah.
Collective work and responsibility.
Absolutely.
I love it. And you do, anyway, I'm not going to have any commentary on that. All right, everybody. So if you go to africanancestry.com/Ujamaa, you can see the full list of the African Ancestry Ujamaa list that was curated by my team, many of whom you see right here. This is our crew. This is the African Ancestry crew, and Hazel, who's holding it down in the chat, and Ty, who holds it down in the AAOC, and Rick, and Stanley, and Cynthia, and Chinwe, and Diallo, and Nicole,
Tasia.
and Tasia. Shout out to Tasia, who's about to be Tasia and the little Tasias.
Yeah.
Jasmine started it. Whoever that little cutie pie was that stuck their face in the camera, they started it. It's all Jasmine's fault. How I got to Jasmine and the little Jasmines. But I am very proud of this team, everybody. Just so you know, I'm saying it publicly. They hold it down for African ancestry, and they hold it down for African people. She said, thanks for mentioning Madre. Shout out to my mother, Cynthia Paige. And you guys are part of the African Ancestry Team as well. You're part of the family. As Plachette said, we have this huge extended family, and you guys helped get us through this year. We're looking forward to rocking with you next year and helping to welcome more people into the African Ancestry family, go on more African Ancestry family reunions, bring you more special guests and deep conversations and enlightening conversations. We're going to take a break for the month of January because we're cooking up some really powerful stuff for you all, and we want to come correct. We don't want to, we got to bring you something fresh and something new. So you want to talk to us, chat with us. Hazel and I are going to be over on Instagram, popping in occasionally to do some live conversations. Abdul wants to know, when is the next homecoming to Sierra Leone? Abdul, that information is at travel.africanancestry.com. The next one will be back to Sierra Leone. I promise after that, we're going somewhere else too. But we're going back to Sierra Leone in April to welcome some more people into the Sierra Leonean community. I hope that you guys have been having a great, someone got a purchase. Flavorful seasoning. Someone purchased flavorful seasoning. Woo, 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 woo. That's how we do. That's how we do. This is so important. I hope you guys have a great rest of the week for Kwanzaa, and that you do something special on Imani, the last day, which is faith. Enjoy some good food. Maybe Shawn can send you some recipes. Spend time with your family and reflect on what's going to be coming up in the new year. LaShondra, yes, we are working on a family reunion for Ghana. And we are working on a family reunion for Cameroon, Lisa Marie. Like I've said every Wednesday that I've been on this year, we are still in a pandemic. Unfortunately, I have to keep saying that. So I encourage you all to continue to social distance, continue to wear your mask, continue to support your immune system, continue to support your mental health and that of those you love. We made it through this year, and we want to make it through next year with all of you. Thank you to my team again for joining me tonight. And until we meet again, may you be happy, may you be healthy, and may you be whole. Have a very happy new year, everybody. Good night.
Bye.